Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Caravan of Garbage, where we're taking a look at the Wolverine trilogy.
That's right.
We're nearly halfway there. We will be at halfway through this video. There will be a moment, it'll flash up on the screen when we're halfway through.
We'll be talking, but there will be an air horn going off for a long time. And you'll be like, what are they saying? I can sort of make it out. It'll be that kind of audio mix, I hope.
Exactly. Look forward to it. Leave a like, actually, for this video, or even when that happens. Not both. You choose one or the other. Of course, this week we're talking about the Wolverine.
This is the forgotten Wolverine movie. Everybody remembers X-Men Origins Wolverine because it's the dumb bad one.
Yep.
And then everybody remembers Logan because it's the poignant one.
It's the
It's
sad...
pretty funny. I mean, sometimes he falls on his bottom.
Yeah.
And it makes an air horn noise. Here it is.
Yeah, that's all good stuff, isn't it?
But this is the mid-period one. This is, but this is also James Mangold who directed Logan.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
We don't have to think about that.
You have to think about it. Here it is. The whole thing. Just scrub through it, Lawrence. Just the whole thing really quickly. We can't get flagged if it's quick.
No, this is a test of YouTube's reporting system. Here it is. Wow. Playing with fire. This one.
This also answers the question, what happens to Wolverine's hair when he gets obliterated by a nuclear explosion?
Yeah, this is a bold
How does he get a haircut? If he gets a haircut, it would just grow back into that shape.
This is one of these Superman hypotheticals, like how does Superman shave?
He does it in the mirror.
Do you think maybe Wolverine gets his hair cut because Superman heat visions his hair in a mirror?
That might be it, yeah.
Yeah, I think he probably goes to Superman's house.
Yeah.
You know?
He might just do that.
Superman cauterizes it so it doesn't grow back instantly. But that's a bold way. It's kind of a bold way to start a Wolverine movie. Is it in poor taste that Wolverine has canonically survived the atomic explosion at Nagasaki?
And he knew what it was?
Sure.
Because afterwards he's like, better stay down here for days. I think it's a nuclear weapon, a thing that most people don't know about, but I know about for some reason.
I think Captain America told him about
Captain America probably told him. He said, this is going
to be sick.
Yeah, you're going to love this.
Are you sure you're Captain America?
Anyways, this is how it happened. Guillermo del Toro expressed interest in directing. He was a big fan of the Japanese saga of the Wolverine comics. He even met with Hugh Jackman about the role because, of course, Hugh Jackman at this point had a huge hand in the character and got to decide who's in and who's been.
He had a couple of huge hands generally. How do you think he fits the claws in?
That's right. But he decided he didn't want to dedicate, 2 to 3 years to this movie. Darren Aronofsky was going to do it. He was set to direct.
I was going to say... He was going to do it. He was going to be Wolverine. I don't think so, Darren Aronofsky.
Not with those scarves.
No.
You would never take them off for a movie role.
That's right. Picture this, Wolverine, but he's got scarves. Get out, Darren.
He was working on this project for about 6 months before he departed. He didn't want to be overseas for too long away from his kids.
Did he work with Hugh Jackman on that movie, The Fountain?
Yeah, I think that's right.
That movie that's about space or...
The future or the past?
Or the past, and there's a fountain of youth, and maybe it's in Spain, but maybe it's in space.
Maybe Hugh Jackman explodes into flowers at the end or something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Of course, James Mangold was brought on board. Now, the original idea for this was a prequel as well, so I guess a sequel to X-Men Origins, but he liked the idea of moving it forward and then exploring the burden of Wolverine's immortality.
And then Fox said, okay, we don't care where it's put.
Yeah.
Anywhere, future, past, it doesn't matter. Have you seen any other ones, Mangold? Have you seen any of the... It doesn't matter.
We just need to slap in a post-credit scene
yeah.
to vaguely tease something.
And that doesn't have to be before or after the move. Like, it doesn't matter when that's set. That could be set before. Are you listening, Mangold? It doesn't matter when that's set or this is set.
Listen, you don't even have to be listening.
If any of the characters hold up a newspaper with the current date on it, we'll kill you. That's our one rule. Do not put a definitive date in this at all.
So this, of course, explores a depowered Wolverine.
I think that's great.
I think it's great also in that this version of Wolverine appears to heal like the early version of Wolverine.
Yeah, so I mean, I personally think that a lot of the appeal of Wolverine originally in the comic books...
You said the appeal is he stabs women in his sleep all the time.
I did say that.
Yeah.
As a goof, though.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. But I think the appeal of him in the comic books originally is that he is very kind of tenacious, but not the most powerful character. He can't control the weather or shoot lasers out of his eyes or what have you, or telekinesis or telepathy or, any of the incredible powers of the other mutants, but it's that he can take a bullet and keep fighting.
Yeah.
Right? He's still hurt, but, he keeps at it. because he's a hero.
Yeah.
But to make I feel like in the comic books he kept getting overpowered to the point where he can be reduced to a skeleton and just come back from that instantly. So I think
sometimes depending on
depending.
the version
See,
of
that's
the
the thing,
era
and it's the consistency as well. But I think putting him in this spot where he is mostly depowered and he has to deal with that. Like at one point he cuts himself shaving, and I was like, ha, you've never had to think about that before in your life, idiot.
Can you imagine though if they made this movie and he got hurt and he didn't heal and he just went, I'm out. I'm not brave and I don't like this.
That's right.
This is dangerous now. This isn't fun anymore.
Yeah. It was fun when I had the invincibility cheat code. Now it's not fun anymore.
No.
Can you guys put down your guns? Honestly, could you? Come on.
So the idea this time around is that, he doesn't want to be immortal anymore, and he's propositioned an old Japanese man.
All right, first of all, he's become a wildman in the American
much
wilderness.
like a real Wolverine.
That's exactly right. And then he causes a ruckus.
Yep.
And then he's approached by Yukio, who says, do you want to visit my father in Japan? And then he's like, no, I don't. And then the cop car goes past and he's like, I do actually. Did you notice that bit?
That's fun.
The cops are after me, but I will. It's unrelated. I will visit your father because of honor.
Yeah. I want to see what weird, awful bed he sleeps in.
That's right.
That looks so uncomfortable. Just a pinboard bed.
Oh, yeah. He's got the Yashida's hospital bed uses that Kryptonian pinboard technology.
Yeah, man. So maybe this guy doesn't have the best intentions, Maybe he's hiding in a big robot samurai suit. No spoilers here, though.
I think that's just a decoration. I think he probably bought that from a What's New.
Oh, What's New, did he? Well,
right.
when is this movie set? It doesn't matter.
I was going to say, look, I think I like this movie generally.
Yeah, me too.
I think the action sequences are great. As I mentioned, I think it's more exciting when he's a depowered Wolverine and he has to adapt to that. But I do think upon a rewatch, this is the kind of movie that every part of drama of it could have been avoided if two people had had a conversation, or if he and Yashida had gotten along better in their second meeting.
Yeah.
Because Wolverine comes over to Japan and Yashida's like, hey, listen, I know how you're immortal and stuff, and that's probably feels like a burden sometimes, but what if you just died? Would that be fun for you? What if you gave your power to... What if you just died?
Yeah.
What if you... I mean, first of all, he should have said, are you feeling a bit aimless? Have you considered Sudoku? It's this craze that's sweeping the nation.
Well, that would give away the year. You can't say Sudoku.
Oh, that's true, actually.
Have you considered Sudoku a thing that is around?
Have you considered Pachinko?
Oh, there
Have you
we go.
considered the Metal Gear Solid franchise? There's a lot of cutscenes. That'll...
Yeah.
They'll run you about another century. But he doesn't just go, listen, can I have some of your bone? I'm dying.
Yeah.
And remember, you saved me from that atomic explosion, so you owe me, Wolverine.
I gave you that
just,
sword,
If you could just give me some marrow.
Yeah.
And I'll give that a whirl, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Nah. He's going to fake his death, and he does hide in a big robot, actually.
He does, yeah.
Yeah. Seems
Not just from
complicated.
What's New.
No, it's not. I mean, it might be. But... yeah, and then Wolverine, of course, gets snaked. He gets snake-ladied.
Yeah.
She's snaking everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gets snaked up the wazoo, presumably.
Oh, yeah.
How else do you get that in?
Yeah, I don't really... well, the kiss. I think it's from a kiss.
I think it was
'Cause
up the wazoo.
Oh, it might have been. Because he's having a lot of Jean Grey dreams. And you said this before we started recording, but he's sure he's having a lot of dreams about a woman who didn't like him that much.
That's right. Who he's in love with, but I know you probably loved her from the moment you saw her or whatever, but
Yeah, yeah.
she was with Cyclops until he exploded.
Yeah, she exploded him.
And then you were evil then.
Yeah.
She was evil then.
Yeah.
So get over it, man.
Get over it, man. Though, great action.
There's a lot of other women you can fall in love with in this movie.
Yeah, there's one in this movie.
Yeah.
There's at least one in this movie. I think the action's good. There's an action sequence which starts at a funeral, and then there's a bit of a shootout, and he's injured, and it goes into the streets of Japan, and there's a guy running across the rooftops, throwing arrows at people, and then it goes onto the bullet train.
That's Harada, so he's the Silver Samurai in the comic books.
Yeah,
They
big
gave it a
fake
little
out.
Was it?
Big fake out, Mason.
Okay, all right.
Big fuse.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Do you think he's going to Silver Samurai it? It's funny because I realized watching the behind the scenes of this, the second unit director on this was David Leitch.
Oh, of Bullet Train fame.
Exactly.
What, is he obsessed with bullet trains?
Seems that way, yeah.
God, get over it.
Get over it.
God.
Stop having dreams where you're married to a bullet train.
That's right.
Man. Don't be weird.
Don't be weird about it.
The Bullet Train didn't even really like you that much. He, of course, directed one of the Deadpool movies as well. So he's had his foot in the X-Men
Atomic
franchise.
Blonde?
Yes, Atomic Blonde. Yeah, let's name all his movies. The Fall Guy, etc.
Yeah.
No, he does good work. Yeah, how do you feel about the surgery sequence, though? We have to get the thing out of his heart.
And there's a moment there where Yukio's like, Wolverine, stop it. Don't do it. Stop.
Yeah.
I reckon once at the point where like he's got his entire hand in his chest cavity, I'd be encouraging at that point.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to stop him.
Nah,
at
he's
that
in
point.
there already.
Yeah, you'd be like, good on you.
He's
You're
wrist deep.
You are doing such a great job.
Yeah.
You're doing such a good job, Wolverine.
Now, you've heard this theory, I'm sure, and I think the director even confirmed this. She says, I saw you die with your heart in your hand.
Okay, sure.
And then in the next movie...
Because she has vague foreseeing the future
see the future
powers.
when you die powers. And that doesn't happen necessarily in this movie, I guess. But in the next movie, he dies holding his daughter's hand, who's a clone, which is his heart.
It's a metaphor.
But, and the director was like, yeah, that's exactly what happened there. You figured it out.
Yep.
But there's a moment where they go into that room and she goes, I saw you die. It was in this room. He died in the woods. I remember.
That's true.
Also, he did die in this movie. She did see it.
That's true.
He died
Yeah.
for like 30 seconds. Which he can do. Oh, I like that bit where he takes the katana. Goes through him, I guess through his vertebrae in between.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Sliced. Yeah, that's good stuff,
Bit of
man.
fun.
Yeah. That's a bit of fun, isn't
It's
it,
a
mate?
bit of fun. It's a bit of fun. I like you mentioned the bullet train sequence, but I enjoyed that a lot. I enjoyed the fact that, again,
There's a playfulness to it.
Yeah, and him being depowered, I think, we then sort of believe that like one Yakuza guy could take him down.
Yeah.
And that's good. That's good
good.
tension,
You're doing fake out jumps
You're doing fake out
to each other. Yeah, it's really good stuff. But yeah, after his girlfriend gets captured the maximum amount of times that a person can in a movie,
Yeah.
they have to go to the big castle. Now, we watched the...
She got kidnapped a Lois Lane amount of times, a Mary Jane Parker amount of times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's some extended stuff in this because we watched the extended unrated cut or whatever.
that's
This
right.
went PG-13 to cinemas.
There's a lot more effing and jeffing, I'll tell you that
Oh, is
much.
there? Yeah. So there's like 7 or so extra minutes, and one of the extra sequences is that they get
It's
on.
just Wolverine effing and jeffing.
Yeah.
F that and to heck with this.
Jeff
I'm sick of being
this.
the Wolverine.
Yeah, the snowplow sequence. That's not in the regular version.
the sequence where a bunch of ninjas get sucked into a snowplow and
Yeah.
their blood and bone meal gets sprayed all over various houses.
Yeah, that's right.
interesting. Okay, why'd
Absolutely.
they take that out?
I don't know.
Wasn't effing or jeffing.
It's not that violent though either.
No.
Really, it's more kind of. I mean,
More
it is.
Looney Tunes violence,
Yeah,
honestly.
I completely agree. Yeah. And then the Silver Samurai turns up. When I first saw this movie 10 plus years ago, I thought it was like a weird tonal shift where suddenly there was an old man in a big robot. But
Making love to his tonic and gin.
But I think having seen so many bizarre comic book movies and TV shows since,
Yeah.
the ending doesn't stand out like at all in
No.
that way. It feels fine. I remember it feeling like it took a real left turn, but it doesn't now.
Yeah.
In 2024.
We make the connections ourselves now. Oh, okay, we're stockpiling adamantium and now there's a adamantium samurai
it's
robot.
not even.
It's fine.
I don't even mean in terms of like laying the seeds of it. I just mean it's a fairly grounded movie. Then there's
Yes,
a
that's
big
right.
robot, but it's. I don't feel that way at all. It's not the silliest thing we've seen in an X-Men movie. Even
No.
here it is, the silliest thing.
You're not even going to think of it?
Nah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and it does end. Well, not the post credits. We'll talk about that. But it ends with like the promise of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine and Yukio, and she's like, "I guess we're hanging out now. We're gonna have many adventures together."
2 years later, she's gone.
She's gone. She's dead, probably. Everyone in this movie who's not Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is dead.
Yeah, there is
unless they're in the post credits.
There is a moment right at the end when Wolverine's about to get on that plane and Mariko says, "Oh, I suppose you'll be seeing me again." And I'm like, no. You're gone after this. The continuity's going to change immediately. You're not even going to exist after this.
No, that's right.
You should have the existential dread of a fictional character who knows they're fictional. You're gone. As soon as we switch this DVD off, you're gone.
It's over, mate. Yeah.
Next time it's mentioned to Wolverine in another movie, you might be like, I don't know who that is. And it'll be true. Because you were written out forever.
Yeah, you're gone.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it even. But yeah, the post credits, of course, leads into Days of Future Past. That was filmed by, who's that guy, that fucking X-Men producer? What's his name? It's not Bryan Singer. He does all the X-Men. He directed one of the X-Men movies.
Matthew Vaughn?
No.
Lawrence Kasdan.
No. Oh,
Lawrence Lung.
Yeah, Lawrence Lung. Not Apocalypse. What was the last one? Dark Phoenix.
Oh, I don't know.
That was directed by Simon Kinberg
Oh.
and added on
Okay.
to James Mangold's movie.
Okay. You say it led into Days of Future Past.
I mean, they show a robot or something.
I mean, kind of.
They show a robot hand and they go, dark things are afoot.
Because it kind of, that would suggest that they leave the completely normal airport and the Days of Future Past
when they land,
dystopian future
it's
is
Days of
just
Future Past.
outside. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, great.
That's fine. I'm fine with it.
Is that why everybody's getting on a plane to go to Hawaii or whatever?
Yeah, well, that movie starts with them all getting off a plane. Don't you remember?
Sure, okay.
Don't you remember?
I don't remember.
Your new futuristic suit is in the plane, Wolverine, and so Storm and Havoc and whoever else is in this movie. I can't remember, Mason.
Right.
I don't think it's Havoc. It might be Sunspot Mason.
Sure.
Anyway, Professor X is alive.
That's right.
Because if you remember, in X-Men 3, which we have done a video on for some reason, but not 1 and 2 yet, he exploded.
Yes.
And then at the end of that movie, it's hinted at that he's alive for some reason.
Because he transferred his brain through some sort of, I think did he bounce his brainwaves off Wolverine's adamantium skeleton to get it around the world?
To enhance it.
Because he looks right at him. And then
Yeah.
because you'd think that he was doing that like Spock McCoy style.
Oh, yeah.
But I think he bounced the brainwaves off Wolverine like an antenna into the other guy's brain, who people are like, oh, it's Professor X's brother. And he's not.
Why not?
He's just a guy.
Do you think he's making people see him like that?
Yeah, maybe.
Why do you think he looks like him then? Why did you think before I offered that explanation?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I forgot that it doesn't
But
matter.
the guy's just a guy, I'm saying.
Yeah, he's a guy whose legs don't work also.
Yeah.
Were his legs also crushed by the devil?
Maybe.
Which was how comic book Professor Xavier lost his legs.
Look, James, I'm willing to concede that maybe he just got out of a coma.
And his legs
And
aren't.
his legs
they're
aren't
not
100.
great.
They're not great currently.
Or maybe he's just like, you know what? I like sitting.
Yeah, that's right. Also, I maintain there is a version of this post-credits where Professor X is walking. I feel I've seen that, but I've never...
I mean, that's the end of the last one we watched.
Yeah, maybe that's it, yeah.
And the start of X-Men 3, he's walking.
Yeah.
And James McAvoy one walks until Magneto deflects a bullet into him.
Oh, and I remembered also it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
We must all remind ourselves of that, all
That's
right?
right.
There are things in life that do matter. I would even say there's certain media that matters.
Oh, yes.
But none of this matters.
Wow.
Movie to movie.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyways, it's time for, listen, I'm going to give you the option.
Go on.
We could do either my famous recurring segment, Thoughts and Prizes, or Hugh Jackman's fitness regime. You can pick one. I've put extensive work into both. Mr. Beast style, I'll throw one away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean...
Remember, if you pick Thoughts and Prizes, anybody can win.
Can win a prize. So I think that's probably for the... I mean, look, I feel like Hugh Jackman is as ripped as he's ever been in this movie. He's pretty ripped.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing it's just,
Et cetera and so
it's
forth.
broccoli and chicken, and then he did a lot of cardio and lifting and whatever. So I don't, unless there's something real weird in there.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go with Thoughts and Prizes because I'm a man of the people, and I'm hoping that we all win some prizes today.
All right. You didn't.
Huh, interesting.
That was Thoughts and Prizes, everybody. Now it's time for the trivia.
Wow. So when you said you put extensive thought into both of those, what did you mean?
I've got all this research for what he ate and calories and...
No, but the Thoughts and Prizes one.
Oh, I mean, I got all the prizes organised.
Oh, what are they?
The whole system's set up.
What
for
are
it.
they? What?
Doesn't matter now, they're gone.
No.
The prizes don't accumulate.
No.
Forget about it.
You said.
You would have loved it too, let me tell you. This one was very specific to you.
I don't think he had any thoughts, and I don't think he acquired any prizes.
I did. I don't know what to tell you.
If you work for the Australian Tax Office, when he puts his return in, I want you to look up prizes. I want you to audit this guy and look for all the prizes
I'm
he
paying
bought.
cash, don't worry about
Oh,
it.
well, are you? Wow.
Anyways, it's time for the trivia.
I love it.
I know we said last week for people to remind us of what this section was called, because I think you said a good one.
Yeah.
But nobody reminded us.
I think if we do the trivia and it's got the like in the Wolverine font.
Oh, that's going to work.
Yeah, I think that would work.
Yeah,
Actually.
good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll throw you a bit of a bone for the diet, Mason. Hugh Jackman adopted a dehydration diet used by bodybuilders, where he didn't consume any liquid for 36 hours before filming his shirtless scene.
That'll do it.
He said it made him feel headachy and faint, but he was pleased with the results. Being ripped.
That's right.
This might be the biggest he is.
Yeah.
And who knows how many calories he ate. I looked it up, but don't worry about it. Jessica Biel.
Well, I guess other people could look it up too.
No, they can't.
What do you got a secret? You got a secret stash of Hugh Jackman fitness facts or something?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe I do.
I don't think he does.
Check my tax documents. Jessica Biel was offered the role of Viper, Snake Woman.
Yep.
But a deal couldn't be reached, so she dropped out.
Instead, she was Whistler.
She was Whistler's daughter.
Abigail Whistler.
Yeah. Rogue was involved in one of the versions of the Wolverine script. She was going to try to convince Logan to return home, and she was going to end up joining him in the adventure. However, she was cut from the story due to director James Mangold wanting to focus on Logan's isolation. Interesting.
Yes.
And an alternate ending of this movie was filmed, where Yukio presents Logan with a box that contains his yellow Wolverine mask and
That's
costume from the
right.
comics or something.
And he never wore it. Not even in this upcoming movie.
Nah, that's a trick.
I would have preferred the brown and yellow one.
Well, that'd be fun
I
too.
think that's the best costume.
The problem is this led directly into a Bryan Singer movie, and he would not put Wolverine's costume in any of his movies.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
And he did some other stuff too,
did
which
some-
I don't like even more than that.
Wow.
Box office, on a budget of $132 million, it made $414.8 million. Bit of a hit, Mason. Bit of a big ol' hit.
Big ol' hit.
And here's a hint towards what we're doing next week. What could it be?
Is it Logan?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Obviously, because we've done the two. Did you not know?
No, I knew.
Why did you even have to guess? You
I
should
don't
have
know.
known. When you said, is it Logan? You should have
Sometimes
said
we
it
throw
is.
people a curveball. Maybe there's another one somewhere.
Yeah, maybe there is another one somewhere, but it's not. It's Logan. And if you want to see that early, you can actually head over to bigsandwich.co, where these always go up early. It's not the only thing there, though, is it?
No.
There's so many bonus stuff there. We do a comic book collab, we do video game let's plays, we do movie commentaries, we do bonus podcasts. It's $9 a month. It does help out this channel if you are interested. We've got an X-Men movie commentary coming up. We've got other X-Men commentaries there. Also, we recently did a let's play of the X-Men arcade game. We recently talked about the Old Man Logan comic book.
If you love the X-Men, you're in for a treat.
Absolutely. And other stuff, etc. Also, we have a podcast called The Weekly Planet where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. That comes out every Monday. Check it out if you are keen. It's got its own YouTube channel. It's on Spotify. We have a good time, don't we?
We have a very good time.
And it's a good podcast. It's not just us having a good time.
That's
We're
right.
putting in the work, all right?
Yeah, we've factored in audience enjoyment.
That's right.
Which not every podcast can say.
No.
You know. I mean, we enjoy it the most.
Yeah.
That's undeniable.
Otherwise, we wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Hey, here's a question.
Okay.
Why does Logan hate flying? Does he think something bad will happen to him if the plane crashes? Bearing in mind, he survived the atomic explosion at Nagasaki.
Well, I don't think he loves atomic explosions.
Yeah.
I think if he had to rank those two things, he'd probably prefer flying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
But it's like a running bit. What's
yeah,
going on?
okay, but if he falls out of a plane in the middle of the ocean, he's alive, and then he's in
Yeah.
the middle of the ocean.
That's true. He'd be sinking, wouldn't he?
He'd be sinking like a stone.
Yeah.
If he drowns, does he drown again and again?
Well, that happens in...
Oh, yeah, one of them.
Probably not, though.
Days of Future Past, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Good movie, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, bye, everyone.
Bye.